Hello, and welcome back. I'm Shelf Unit, and this is my continuing Let's Play of Civilization 2. Okay, last time we'd made a huge number of technological discoveries. We'd built up a number of new cities. We'd built a bunch of wonders, and we're now exploring other lands. We met the Japanese, who are a bit crappy, and we've declared war on the Romans because they just annoyed me. London has increased to 9 people, and yep, it's looking pretty good so far. Liking this. We've now got production of 19, which I like the sound of. Okay, let's make there. Let's sleep. Let's actually take this around. See if we've done the hanging gardens. Okay. Crud. Might lose our people here. But Coventry's built city walls. Let's build a temple there straight away. Yeah, we'll take down them, and I will take down. Yeah. Yeah, when you attack a stack of units in a square and you defeat them, you will destroy all of them. If there's a fortification on it, you will only take down one a turn. Now I have to get my various peoples away. We've discovered seafaring. So as empires grew and trade expanded into new areas, travel by sea became increasingly important to the civilizations of the world. Experienced sailors passed down their lore and techniques to new generations who sailed to increasingly distant lands. Originally, these long voyages were trade-oriented, but the ability to travel great distances led to a new breed of adventurers whose goal was primarily one of exploration. The Vikings were some of the earliest and most successful explorers in history. Their knowledge of the sea and experience with long ocean voyages allowed explorers such as Leif Erikson to successfully cross the Atlantic and land in the Americas more than 500 years before Columbus. Excuse me. The pioneering spirit of these early ocean travellers formed the basis for the seafaring traditions of generations to come. Now that gives us a harbour, which doubles the food production of any water squares that are available, including inland lakes. Right, now I want to get gunpowder, because I want to get better defensive units and increase our barracks, or because our barracks will get sold when gunpowder comes available. And yeah, my primary reason is because Leonardo's Workshop automatically upgrades your units to the maximum possible they can be, and with gunpowder you get the musketeer unit, and all of the defensive units in every city that I have instantly get upgraded to musketeers for free, which is one of the reasons I love the Leonardo's Workshop so much. It is a vital part of my plan. I don't have to waste time and resources building new units. Also, if we discover anything in a ship related variety, our triremes will get upgraded, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to fortify here, because forests give you a defensive bonus of, I thought they gave you 50%. So these guys have a defensive bonus of 50% because they went from York, which had a barracks, and now they've got another 50% defensive bonus because of the forest. And when they're fortified, they will start healing a little bit per turn, and they are desperately in need of that. York's built an aqueduct and look to grow a bit more. What have we got? We've still got a surplus. Oh goodness, got lots of tax coming in and lots of research. So I'm going to build a university in York now. Now the Japanese are piling into the Romans as well. As you can see, the red bar is increasing slightly on each. See if I can find it. There we are. Seen this? Moved up to yellow now, and that's up to the highest red that it can get. This is going to attack and bring it down again, but I should be able to defeat it. Let's see how tough the Romans are. Yeah. This is a big continent. Can't we build an aqueduct? I'm going to build a marketplace there, because even though we haven't got a huge amount in the way of tax coming... Oh, actually no, I'm going to build a harbour. And once the harbour comes, I'm going to take off from here and plop it into the water to get a double food bonus. I might even send a settler down to irrigate around there, because that increases the food bonus you can get from, yeah, catapults. Catapults are the hardest hitting. Ooh, what's this down here? Okay, so let's finish with that. Warwick builds city walls now. Straight onto the temple for them. Moscow. Is it Russians? Or is it just Romans? Okay, so there's Coventry. I'm tempted to build a library there, but I'm thinking settlers would come in handy now. Hastings has got a marketplace. A lot of science. I'm going to build a university there. Okay, now I'm going to send this. Okay, they're now fully healed, so I'm going to unfortify them. Okay, I'm going to can't move into an area adjacent to an enemy square. So that's a little bit annoying, and the enemy don't seem to pay any attention to it. Whilst I'm going down from Nottingham, I'm going to build... What have we got here? Is this the bottom of the world? It is. So gunpowder has rendered all existing barracks obsolete. Antiquated barracks sold for 40 gold, so we're getting a bit more gold. And we discovered gunpowder. Gunpowder is a chemical mixture of saltpeter, sulfur and charcoal. When ignited, it burns rapidly and explodes if contained to any degree. Gunpowder is believed to have been developed by the Chinese, who used it in fireworks as early as the 9th century. It's 380 BC. But it did not reach Europe until the 14th century. Europeans immediately saw the potential of this substance and manufactured it for use in weapons as early as 1334. We are only 1,000 years, well no, 1,700 years earlier. The discovery of gunpowder led to the invention of firearms, such as the musket, which led to the replacement of archers in most armies of the world by the late 1500s. Gunpowder marked one of the major technological turning points in military history, significantly changing the way wars were fought. So we've done that. I'm thinking to increase our research potential we should do astronomy now, but feudalism to give me some knights. I don't know, astronomy. Let's go astronomy. Okay, I'm just going to send this ship out. I'm going to build roads on my way down here. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of exploration. And I'm going to go across. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to go across here and build a road there. Ooh, have we found a new... Yeah, we've got Harbour and Coventry. So I'm going to switch from there to here, and we're going to gain an extra food, so we've got surplus now. And the same number of trade. So we've got a harbour, so I can now build... I'm going to build a marketplace. Or maybe I should build another ship. Let's build a barracks first. And London completes Leonardo's workshop, and so automatically all phalanx have been upgraded to musketeers. Which is perfect. Now I don't need any of these right now, so I'm going to build a marketplace to get my money up a bit. What have we found? Interesting. Going to road here and then start irrigating there. Yay. It's just a tiny island, yep. That's going to be quite good though for... Move over here. It's the Russians. Okay, that were the Russians. They're just the same colour as the Romans in the game, which can be hugely confusing. Civilization's greatness is an example to all, but our people grow jealous. They want gunpowder. Nope. I thought we were the Romans. Was it not the Romans? Okay, we'll accept the we'll accept a ceasefire with them. They want us to withdraw from St. Petersburg, demand tribute for our patience, and ignore our feeble threats. I'm going to irrigate here to increase the food production of the land. Aztecs have nearly completed the Great Library. Warwick's built its temple. It's got so many people, I think I'm going to build an aqueduct immediately. Am I going to attack straight away? Let's attack. Violate the ceasefire. Let's attack again. I found a little... Oh, brilliant. I found a new island to colonize. We are the happiest civilization in the world as well. They've built a great library, and the Chinese have now switched to hanging gardens. And the Aztecs have. Oh yeah, everybody's switching. Coventry's built settlers. And now it's going to build a library. Even though things are not so good. But it's going to, I'm going to road these areas here to get trade on them. Nottingham's built a university to increase its trade. Do we have any? We do. I'm just going to build a marketplace, I think, now. London's built a marketplace. Its tax rate has gone up from 6 to 9, so the marketplace is paying for itself and adding $2 to the Treasury return. And I'm now going to build a university there to increase the science by 50% again. Okay, is this a colonizable area? It is. Let's go and... Yeah, I think they're dead. But we've discovered astronomy, which allows us to get Copernicus' observatory, which gives us huge amounts of real research. So, astronomy originated as simple observation and recording of regular celestial movements for the purposes of keeping time and determining directional bearings. Ancient Greeks were amongst the first to study astronomy in detail. They described the use of stars for navigation at sea and recorded the position of constellations during each season of the year for purposes of determining times for planting and harvesting. The Greek astronomer Aristarchus developed the theory that celestial motion could be explained by the fact that the Earth revolved on its axis once every 24 hours, and revolves around the Sun along with other planets. This theory was rejected at the time, only to be rediscovered nearly 2,000 years later by Copernicus. These early students of astronomy compiled data that became the cornerstone for modern astronomical research. Okay, I'm thinking theory of gravity will get me even more. It will give me Newton's College, which will give me even more scientific research if I build it. So I'm going to build a road there. So abandoned there, great project. Oh, this looks good. Canterbury's built the barracks. And in it I'm going to build, first I'm going to build a trireme. Oh, there's another civilization up here. Okay, so here, what does that do? Two food, 2 trade. Here I've got 2 food, 1 resource, and 1 trade. I'm happy to give up a resource, a trade for a resource on this. Now I'm going to irrigate down here. Oh, barbarian raiding party. Let's build a road there. So these are the Germans. Yeah. Let's activate this and attack. And they've been promoted to veteran status for that. What can I do here? Okay, so they've got a road. This needs a road. Aztecs have nearly completed the oracle. It's connecting everywhere with roads. Aztecs have done that. Chinese have now gone. Okay. We've now got a university in London. I think we had 21 science being done there before. Oh no. Yes, and now we've got 30. So we've got a huge amount of science happening, and now we can build Copernicus's observatory, which will give us even more. I'm going to build a road on there. York's built a university now, getting huge amounts of science. What can we build in York? What have we got? We've got a surplus of 1 food, so I feel we need a harbour. As you can see, we're losing money. Oh no, we're not. We're gaining it now. This is a huge island. I'm not really happy about the Germans having it, frankly. Yeah, I'm going to build a road up here, a road down there. And now I'm going to change to building Crusaders again because they've got 5 attack and double move. I'm going to put that in the channel there. We discovered the theory of gravity, which allows Isaac Newton's college. 17th century, we're still in the BCs, just. Next term we'll go into 0 AD or 0 BC, whichever you like to call it. In the 17th century, Sir Isaac Newton now developed the law of universal gravitation. This law recognized that every mass in the universe exerts an attraction on every other mass. Newton postulated that gravity was a universal force that affected matter. Newton's theory served to explain the forces of attraction between the Earth and nearby objects, as well as the forces that affect the motion of planets and other astronomical bodies. In the early 20th century, Albert Einstein's special theory of relativity led to a major reinterpretation and clarification of Newton's theory of gravity. Scientists now believe that gravity affects energy as well as matter, and that gravity is actually a fundamental warping of the fabric of space-time. Some theorize that the force of this warping is transmitted by as-yet unobserved particles called gravitons. So, now I want navigation, which will get me better boats. Hastings has built a library, which will help in that. We've got only a surplus of 1 there, so I want a harbour there as well. And I'm going to build a road here. And that's barbarians. Ooh. Should have attacked him. Nottingham builds marketplace, gives us more money. What have we got? We've only got a surplus of 1 there, so we'll build a harbour there as well. No. Okay, what have I got? Let's go up and irrigate there. Let's go down here and build a road there. Excellent. We've ransomed him for 50 gold. Yeah, we're losing a lot of money. 11 per turn at the minute, but we are discovering things quickly, and I want to keep doing that. I want to get to economics so we can build the Adam Smith's plan, which reduces the cost of our things to maintain, or maintenance rather I should say. So let's do that next time when we discover something. Build our road here. Let's sleep that. Hastings now has a harbour, and we've doubled our surplus, so we'll increase our population more. I'll build settlers there, so we can go out. Oh, there we go. Leonardo's workshop upgrades all trireme to Caravel, which means we no longer will get lost at sea if we go out. We discovered navigation. In the early days of seafaring, sailors operated solely through a process known as piloting, in which the position and course of the ship was determined by referring to geographical landmarks. The need to stay in view of the shore severely limited the extent of sea voyages. Through experience, sailors learned to apply the science of astronomy to their profession, noting that the positions of the movement of the particular stars They realised that even when the shore was out of sight, they could steer by certain reliable stars. This crude yet practical application of astronomy allowed the adventurers to sail into the unknown with a reasonable chance of finding their way. As a result, shipbuilding technology quickly improved, producing larger, more stable ships designed for longer voyages. So now I'm really interested in improving my armies. So I want feudalism, or possibly metallurgy, in fact. No, feudalism first. So these ships now have a greater movement rate, but only of 1. Okay, let's just build a road here for the hell of it. York's built harbours. Now we've got a much better surplus of food there. I'll build another settler unit there. Okay, what have we got here? We're using that. Let's add a trade to it. Okay, we'll just go with more of Germany. Let's build some more fun things there. Coventry's now built its library. Let's build an aqueduct there. Nottingham's built a harbour, so we've now increased the surplus there. What are we building in Nottingham? Do I need another settler? I'm going to build a caravel. No, I've already got a caravel down there. Let's build more crusaders, I'm thinking. Okay. Discovered feudalism now. In the unsettled times following the collapse of Charlemagne's Frankish Empire, a new social and political system arose in Europe called feudalism. Derived from the concept of monarchy, feudalism was a hierarchical system in which each descending stratum owed allegiance to those above. The king, whose authority was second only to God, granted tracts of lands or fiefs to his barons. The barons might then grant smaller estates to knights, who swore to protect and serve the baron. The knights in turn might then grant fractions of their fiefs to subordinates who would serve the knights. At the bottom of the feudal pyramid were the serfs, who could not own land and acted essentially as slave labourers who worked the land for their masters. Feudalism began to decline in the 13th century when standing armies and mercenaries began to fulfil the protective role once served by the vassals and knights. So now I want chivalry. Sun Tzu and Hastings has built settlers. Let's just build barracks so we've got them in case we need them. Right, Hastings is not using the trees, so I shall go into them and irrigate. Yes, I will grant the Japanese. Hostile Japanese, and no, your people are not ready for such knowledge. Demand tribute for our patience. They're offering war. London's built Copernicus observatory now with 68. We were on 30, now we're on 68 science per turn. Now Isaac Newton's college is going to increase that even more. Let's irrigate there and make landfall there. Sleep that. Use that to attack them. Warwick's built its aqueduct. And we can build a harbour there to increase its surplus because there's none and it's using an awful lot on the sea. York's built settlers now. Might as well build barracks there. Just because. I'm going to move those over here. I'm going to irrigate down here. And I'm going to start irrigating around this area now. Fortunately, I have not found Yep, I'll grant her. She'll not waste money on them. We discovered chivalry, which gives us knights. Now I want leadership to give us something better than knights. to attack the unfortified unit because that's always easier. I'll defeat them. Let's send another unit down. Let's build more roads there. Oh, and yes. Wow, we destroyed 3 German units. We haven't made contact with the Germans yet, so we cannot damage our reputation with them. It's only with a unit which we have. We can only damage our reputation with that, another civilization that we've actually encountered. Yeah. And we've got veteran status. I'm going to move away from the land and sleep, which also encourages repairs. Build a road there. Let's attack. Yeah. Okay, let's defeat them. Let's build roads. Let's sleep with that unit. Yeah. And let's irrigate around here. Hastings has now built barracks. What should we build in Hastings? It's got to be... So Knight Crusaders have 5 attack, 1 defense and 2 move. Knights are better in defending. But I'm going to still build Crusaders. I'm going to build Crusaders there now as well. We are going to put everything into defeating our enemies. Let's irrigate lands here and here and build roads, and we are going to attack this elephant unit because elephants don't like to be attacked. And we're going to move down there, and then we're going to make landfall, and we're going to sleep that. We're going to road, and we're going to ready for that. And all Crusaders are now dragoons because of leadership. This is what I meant when I was saying I wanted to increase my military potential. So through the Middle Ages, military forces were only assembled as needed and continued to serve until the current conflict had ended. Though certain leaders had proven to be adept and occasionally brilliant in their methods, the short periods for which they served made their fame short-lived. As regular armies became more prevalent, military leaders had the opportunity to distinguish themselves through the formulation of brilliant military tactics. The tactics of leaders such as these would be studied by successive generations and modified to fit new situations up to and including the present day. So let's go with banking now because we need money more and I want economics. So we've got those. And I want to attack the hardest hitting units first. Although I think I can take all of them out. This unit has now repaired itself and is ready to get back into exploration. Production has been upgraded, as has there and there. I want to connect these cities. Let's charge them in, because I believe I'm just going to double click. There they are. The dragoons have the same attacking potential as cavalry, but they've got much better defense, or double the defense. So I'm just going to barbarians up the north. York's built barracks. I'm going to build a Colosseum up here. Now, the reason for that is I just don't have much in the way of production. Why is there nobody on here? Right, let's build a caravel just quickly. But why is nobody on this? It produces huge amounts of trade. I mean, I'm only on a production of 5, and I don't like that. I'm going to build a Colosseum because you can sell them, and I don't have capitalization yet, and this is basically a cut price capitalization. It gives you money for not much. I'm going to have to attack them. I can't move past them. We are going to probably destroy St. Petersburg here. Yep, we captured it. They don't have any technologies that we want or can steal. If we had less technologies, or rather the people whose city we captured or destroyed had better technologies than we do, we can take one of their technologies. But sadly that was not the case. So I don't like those barbarians up there, so I'm going to get further down and irrigate. We're going to carry on exploring. Beijing has, well, my wife currently is working in Beijing on business, but we have discovered banking. We've also got barbarians and the citizens are alarmed. Let's see what banking can do. It can obviously give us a bank, and economics. It's on the way with university. So many of the services performed by banks today can be traced back to medieval Europe. Certain families, such as the Medicis of Italy, or Medicis, I don't know, were known for the banking duties they performed. These wealthy merchants pooled their their surplus of money, into a bank, then loaned cash with interest to other commercial enterprises. The availability of this capital for investment made many new businesses possible, accelerating economic growth. The first modern banks were established in Europe during the late 1600s. The primary function of today's banking system is the granting of loans to consumers and businesses. In addition to loaning money and safeguarding deposits, banks also invest in government and private securities and bonds. Both the loan and investment functions of banks not only make profits for the bank itself, but stimulate the economy by providing funds for business growth and consumer purchases. And now I want economics so I can build Adam Smiths, because we're losing money. Let's activate this unit and attack them, and irrigate here, and build a road here, and attack these stragglers here. She wants to speak with us. I shall not waste money on them. We shall be punished by war. Coventry's built an aqueduct now. It's got decent production for only having 7 people. It's got poor tax, so we can build a marketplace there. What's the... no, they've got no surplus, so we'll need to build a harbour first. Let's attack up here. Tbilisi. Let's move up and away from Tbilisi. Let's move those on there so they can be fortified whilst they repair themselves, and let's get rid of this capital. No Minsk. Let's fortify them, and we are going to end this episode here. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please subscribe. If not, do not worry about it. Thank you ever so much for watching, and goodbye.